An armed police escort brought Robert Bowers to his first court appearance today. The 46-year-old arrived shackled to a wheelchair just a few hours after being released from hospital. He's facing 29 federal counts, including hate crimes.
The judge advised him of the charges against him. He is detained in jail without bond.
Prosecutors also took the first steps today towards seeking the death penalty against Bowers. But as Paul Hunter reports, that is small comfort to a city struggling both with grief and fear.
They turn out one by one, some with flowers to lay outside the synagogue, others simply to be here, to contemplate and to grieve alongside the markers of the dead. Lynn Gross came here today to grieve.
I don't know, I can't stop crying. It's just terrible.
She and her husband Marvin live not far from the synagogue. As police today continued their investigation inside, they tried merely even to understand.
There's a lot of people in this world that have hate for a lot of other people. And I guess that's what happened here.
I think we need to protect ourselves. It's the other thing, which is really scary. I've never felt scared like I needed to protect myself. I always felt safe. Feeling unsafe is a terrible feeling.
In America?
In America.
This was in September.
In the photo, Joyce Feinberg on the right.
Joyce had lots of good friends because we all loved her.
Feinberg moved to Pittsburgh from Toronto decades ago and was one of the 11 killed in that synagogue Saturday.
As I walked in the door, I got a phone call from Joyce's son saying, "There's something happening at Tree of Life. Do you know anything about it?"
Feinberg's best friends, Dodie and Ralph Roski, gutted by how that day turned out, have seen the U.S. lately take an ugly turn.
There's just been a change in tenor in the country for the last 2 years. I'm sure that Trump himself is not an anti-Semite. I think there's no evidence of that on his part. But he is stoking up a resentment against otherness.
Meanwhile, as Pittsburgh mourns, many wonder, is it now forever changed? Say the Roskis, Saturday's attack will not defeat this place.
It makes people stronger. It makes people care more about each other.
They're remarkable.
Echoed today outside that synagogue, where the rabbi who called for help from inside the synagogue Saturday told CBC in the 2 days since he's had support from around the world.
Jews, Muslims, Christians, Sikh, every religion imaginable with support and love, which is so reassuring to me. It tells us that here in Pittsburgh, hate will not triumph. Love will win out the day. Hate is not welcome in Pittsburgh.
And tomorrow, Andrew, funerals begin for some of those killed. There will be more to follow through to the end of the week.
And Paul, just on that note of love winning out, we know more about what happened to the suspect after he was shot.
Yeah, remember last night we were talking about how Bowers was under guard in hospital recovering from wounds in the police shootout that ended the rampage in there? Well, it turns out, even as he was still shouting, "Kill all the Jews," the first 3 hospital staffers to treat him were Jewish. They did it without question, just doing their job, taking care of sick people, even him.
CBC's Paul Hunter in Pittsburgh tonight. Thanks. I want to take a moment and show you what's happening in Edmonton right now. Leaders in that city's Jewish community are holding a vigil that's just about to get underway. It's just one of a number of events across Canada honoring the victims of the Pittsburgh shooting.
This could have been me. I go to synagogue and pray. I go to Jewish events. These types of things are not okay. They're not okay in Pittsburgh. They're not okay in Israel. They're not okay in New York, even St. John's, Newfoundland. We all need to take a stand against anti-Semitism.
We are in the depths right now, in such pain, joining the victims of Charleston of Quebec City, and all the victims of hate and intolerance around the world. The world still has not learned, has not been able to get past the hate and the barbarism that we thought by now we could transcend.
We continue to strengthen the bonds between each other, within our community, between our communities. That's what we do. We continue to be Jews. We continue to be proud Jews.